Welcome back to my channel where I talk about everything under the sun, but right now I'm kind of focusing on talking about being on social media. So I'm gonna let you guys into my mind and my little thought process a little bit on being on social media, and not even just about social media, but just like going after anything that you want in life and really standing on it and just being kind of fearless even when you are unsure or scared or whatever, you still taking the steps towards that thing that you're trying to achieve in life. So last night I was journaling before bed, which is something I have not done in a while, but I think I'm gonna get back into it. And I was like, I just wanna read a little passage out of this. I said, the sun still shines when the leaves fall in autumn. The time still ticks when the plants wither and die. And even when things slow down, remember there's always a reason why. So my thing that I've been noticing lately, a trend that I've been noticing lately is I know that we usually think that things slow down only in the wintertime, but when it comes to like anything in life, you're always gonna have an up season and a down season, except for when you have up seasons in like your career or your finances or your relationships, they are not as predictable as the seasons of, just the natural seasons of Earth. Spring, autumn, summer, fall, like life is not as predictable as the natural seasons are. So my whole point of writing this, the sun still shines when the leaves fall in autumn, is even when things are falling apart, even when the leaves are falling and dying and everything's withering away, the sun still gets up in the morning and shines its light. And that's kind of the mindset that you got to have when it comes to chasing your dreams, especially being on social media. And as it relates to social media, like when you have a slow season on social media, when you're not getting as many views, when you're not getting that much engagement, when you're not making any money, or when you're not making as much money as you usually do, you still have to get up and do the damn thing. Like, it's not that there's no breaks, but a bad day, a slow day, a low engagement post, a post that doesn't get any likes, none of that stuff means that you don't have to show up again and again and again. And that's the biggest thing with social media is, showing up over and over again, especially when it looks like what you're doing is not working, or it looks like things are slowing down for you. And a lot of times people panic and they either try to switch gears, or they try to, or they just like stop and like kind of quit. But I feel like you kind of have to keep going. And like I said, even though this is mostly about social media, I really just feel like when you learn how to apply these type of ideas to any area of your life, you're gonna get whatever you want out of life. It's just about, it takes time. That's all that it is. It takes time. So when it comes to social media, one thing that is really big that I've gone through my little phase. Other people have gone through their phase too, of feeling like some type of way when you're getting all these views but low engagement. And I kind of want to help soothe that frustration that comes around when you first start posting on social media, or when you're posting and your engagement is kind of low. I just want to reframe your mindset a little bit, because yes, sometimes people don't interact with their stuff just because it's you. And I know we feel like we're entitled to the people that we know interacting with our posts. But when you look at it from a standpoint of, you're not making content for the people that you know. I know for a fact that the content that I make is not really for my friends and my family and the people that I'm around on a daily basis. I have a target audience, and my target audience is not nobody that I know. If you happen to be my target audience and I know you, that is just a bonus. But my content, I don't make content for the people that I know. I'm not up there trying to just show off for people, or I'm just making my content that is authentic to me, and I have an audience that looks forward to that kind of content. So when you look at it from that perspective, sorry, I'm thirsty, but when you look at it from that perspective, You stop getting offended when people don't engage with their content because it's not for them anyways. And one thing that I learned by starting out on TikTok first, when I started out on TikTok, I literally blocked everybody that I knew. At first, well, my first couple of TikToks I didn't, but then when I got back on this last time, I blocked anybody that came across my people you may know, and I knew them. Cut it, because my content's not for you anyways, but I also want to make my content carefree and not be worried about who's seen it and didn't engage and feel some type of way. So I blocked everybody that I knew, and that taught me a couple things. When you have a lot of views and low engagement, that's just a part of the fucking process. And it's not always because people don't like you. It's not always because people don't like your content. It's not always because people are being haters. Do you know how much scrolling people do? Like, let's just break it down all the way to the basics. And you think about the stuff that you see on social media. When you're scrolling on social media, if you see something and if it doesn't catch your attention in the first couple seconds, you're gonna scroll away. That counts as a view. So you scrolled off of somebody's social media and then you didn't engage with it at all. Does that make you a hater? Not necessarily. Or if you, let's say you watched the video all the way through and you liked it, but you forgot to engage with it because we're so used to scrolling and listening that sometimes we forget to engage unless it's something that really like pulls on us. But a lot of times I catch myself, y'all, I don't know, I'm tired, thirsty, everything, but I wanted to make this video. But a lot of times, like, have you ever tried to go back and find a video that you swore that you sent to yourself, or you swore that you liked it and put it in your saved and you didn't? Because sometimes you just forget, and you can't let the views dictate how you perceive yourself and your content for the part that comes with like feeling some type of way. Because yeah, it's just not that deep all the time. Sometimes it is that deep, so don't get me started. Because sometimes it is that deep, and sometimes people do be hating. But sometimes, a lot of the times, your views are gonna be way higher than your engagement. And when I was first on TikTok and my stuff started to like blow up, I noticed that like I kind of had this formula in my head, like if I had got 10,000 views on something, that's probably only about 500 likes. If I got 20,000 views on something, that's probably only about 1,000, maybe 1,200 likes. You gotta kind of do the math. Like, your views are always gonna be significantly higher than your engagement, but that's okay because that's just how it works. Because a majority of the people swiping past your shit might not be your core audience, and they are not going to engage, which is perfectly fine. And then on top of that, some of the people who are your audience and that do watch your content, they don't always remember to engage with your shit. And it's not a personal thing. They got the message, they got the joke, they got the content, they took it in, and then they kept on going with their life. That's fine. And the thing is too, you have to be willing to just like play it out no matter what's going on, and stop looking for likes and views and stop looking at that stuff. Not saying that it doesn't matter, but when you're so busy creating, you kind of just don't have time to be worried about what didn't hit and what did hit, because by the time you realize what did hit, you just then put out this many more videos and this much more content. So just get in the mindset of just like putting out content no matter what the views look like, no matter what the engagement looks like, no matter what, just keep on pushing. That's why I said the sun still shines when the leaves fall in autumn. You still gotta post that content even if the fucking, sorry, I cuss a lot, oh well. You still gotta post the content even when the views are low, high, don't matter. The content or the engagement is low, high, don't matter. And this, I like to like reference back to people, or like, I really get inspired by like all types of people. You could be an athlete, you could be a musician, you could be an actress, you could be a teacher. I feel like everybody has something to offer and some good advice to offer. And one video that I remember, and one thing that I remember, and it's so weird how certain things stick out to you, but like I think I was watching like a Prince documentary or some type of video on YouTube about Prince, and they was talking about how much, I feel like it was Prince, but it might have been Michael Jackson, but I'm pretty sure it was Prince. But it was just talking about how Prince had so much music, and they were talking about his vault, how in the vault he literally had so much unreleased music. And then it might have been MJ, but I can't remember shit. But on top of that, I remember them saying how like Prince would get in the studio and do one take and keep it fucking pushing. Like a lot of his music was one take and he would keep it pushing. He wouldn't get caught up on all the editing and all the rehearsing and all the retouches and all the sound testing. Like he would get in there and do a song, put that shit on the record and keep it pushing. And when you realize like as a creator, you don't always have to perfect each individual song or each individual video or each individual workout or each individual whatever. As a creator, you staying consistent is you perfecting your craft. It's not about perfecting one video. It's about perfecting your craft over the expansion or over time by being consistent, creating back to back to back to back. It's not always, that's just like me spending hours editing this video. I could just put it out there because the message is gonna hit the same regardless. I could make it extra fancy if I want to, because I do know how to edit videos. But I have learned that certain advice clicks with certain people. So that particular advice ain't gonna click with everybody, depending on what kind of content you do, but it will click for some people because get the shit out there, get the message out there, get whatever you're trying to do out there and push it out and push it out and push it out. And then you don't know how many times I've talked to people who have things that they've created and then they just sit on them because they're waiting for a perfect time, and they just sit on it and sit on it and sit on it, and they never put stuff out. They never put stuff out. And I would rather put stuff out and get the message to whoever it needs to get to, and just put it out there for whoever's gonna like it or whoever's gonna engage with it, whoever's gonna resonate with it, than to just keep it tucked in my back pocket forever and ever. So being a creator of any sort or going after anything that you want in life, you don't perfect your craft, or you don't get your 10,000 hours by spending 10,000 hours on one project. You get your 10,000 hours or perfecting your craft by putting something out there and doing it again and doing it again and doing it again and staying consistent. You don't just keep working on the same thing for hours and hours and hours. You gotta keep putting it out there. You learn from that video, you learn from that mistake, you learn what you need to learn, and then you apply it to the next one. You go to the next thing, you put it out there, you learn from your mistakes, you learn what works, what doesn't, and then you apply it, what you've learned, to the next video. That's how you get your 10,000 hours. That's how you figure out what your path is and what you're trying to do and what's gonna work for you. The same thing happened with me with my fitness. When I used to be big into fitness, and then I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know, but I ended up getting really big into fitness, losing the weight, keeping the weight off. And I didn't do it by making sure every workout that I had was perfect. I made sure I showed my ass up every fucking time I needed to show my ass up, whether that be at the gym or eating a certain way, and implementing new things within my workout routine, implementing new things within my diet, and trying all sorts of new things and not getting wrapped up on any one thing or trying to be perfect. Like, you just have to do the shit, okay? And that's how you're gonna find the most success with being a content creator, or, like I said, being successful at any fucking thing in your life. When you're getting your 10,000 hours in and you're perfecting your craft, you are just doing shit and learning as you fucking go. Simple as that. You're doing shit and learning, and then doing some more shit and then learning. And every time you learn something, you apply it to the next time you do some more shit. Do that make sense? Like, you just learn as you go. That's the way that we live our life. That's just kind of naturally how we do shit. When you're a baby, nobody's telling you, like, your parents are not forcing you to sit there in one day and learn how to walk. You get up, you stumble, you fall. You get up, you take 2 steps, you stumble, you fall. You get up, you take 4 steps, you stumble, you take another step, you stumble, you take 3 more steps, you fall. And you keep doing that and rinsing and repeating that until you learn how to walk. And that's the same. You put something out there, you learn what you needed to do better, you learn what worked for you, you learn what you liked about what you liked about the stuff that you put out, you learn what you didn't like about the content or the music or the diet or the fitness or the career choice. You learn what you didn't like, and then you get yourself together, try it again and try it again and try it again and try it again. So yeah, that's all I really gotta say. Because at the end of the day, like, the sun is still gonna shine and the moon's still gonna come out at nighttime. So you might as well keep it pushing, no matter what's going on in your personal life, no matter what's going on with your engagement, no matter who's supporting you and who's not. Keep fucking going. And a lot of times people don't get to where they want in life is because they stopped. Not because they weren't getting the support, not because they didn't get acknowledged. A lot of times it's because they stopped. When you don't give, I wouldn't say don't give a fuck about support, because we all need support. But when the support doesn't make or break you and you keep going anyways, that's when you're gonna win. When the engagement doesn't make or break you and you keep going anyways, that's when you're gonna win. When the scale isn't moving, but you still keep showing up to the gym anyways, that's when you're gonna hit your goals. When when you are consistent and you're learning as you go and you're just constantly trying to learn more and do more to perfect your craft or perfect that thing that you're working on or to hit your goals, and always asking yourself questions on how can I do this better, and just having this personal agenda of being better than yourself and doing better than you did the last time. When you have a personal goal of doing better than you did last time, you have no choice but to win. And on that note, I will be making more content on here. I know I keep saying I'm gonna be consistent, but y'all, life be life, and I'm doing my best, okay? I'm doing my best with what I got. So I will see y'all on the next video, and kisses.